Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. Oh my gosh, yes, I have none other than Dr. Lawana S. Grant.
Oh, hi, Kim.
I'm I'm so giddy excited to have you on the show today, and I can't wait for everybody to get to know you. Then you'll understand why I'm so excited, everybody. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So right now, we're going to first give everyone a chance, which is the typical process. We know the housekeeping rules on the Kim Jacobs Show. As you guys are coming in and you are joining in on today's broadcast, I want to make sure that you go ahead and share with your friends and family and co-workers, church members, enemies, anybody. Just go ahead and share this broadcast with everybody you know and share it with everybody so people can be a part of it. Now, remember, if you share the broadcast, if you want to make a comment here on the Kim Jacobs Show, make sure that you comment so that I can pop it in. Other than that, I won't even know that you are in the studio audience. So please make sure that you go ahead and comment throughout the broadcast. And Dr. Grant, the way this works is some of the comments that come on, people may have specific questions. And again, these are just studio audience questions. So they may ask you specific questions, and that'll give you a chance to address their questions as well.
All right.
All right. So we are going to, let me make sure everything is working on my end too. And we can't do this stuff prior to the show coming on live because it's the live show. So that's the beautiful part of it. And you cannot practice in advance, and on a live show, you got to just test it out when it happens. So good. I already see Cassandra on here. So glad that you're on, Cassandra. Woohoo! I need you in my life. Cassandra is important.
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh my God.
I love the way she supports you. Oh my goodness.
She's a blessing from God. So, okay, we're going to go ahead. I see comments and communication, everything happening. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Today I have, even though she's my friend, I'm still going to give a very formal introduction because you guys need to know who this woman is. Lawana S. Grant. You didn't know I was going to get this professional, did you, Lawana?
Let's go.
Lawana S. Grant earned a BS in criminal justice from Grambling State University, graduating summa cum laude and salutatorian of her class. She advanced, I have to say this, you guys clearly have to be able to even pronounce it to be it, right? So I was not I was not in my class. I was a senior class president though, but not summa cum laude, right? Is that how you say it? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay.
You got it. Yes, ma'am. You got it.
Oh, whoa. Praise God. Okay. So she graduated summa cum laude and salutatorian of her class. She advanced to obtain an MS in Administration of Criminal Justice from California State University, Sacramento, and an MA in Theology and Biblical Studies from Fuller Theological Seminary. She earned a PhD in Business and Organizational Leadership conferred by Regent University. Dr. Lawana S. Grant is a visiting professor who teaches leadership, organizational behavior, comparative religions, and philosophy classes. Coupled with her involvement in various outreach efforts, community programs, and professional organizations, Lawana S. Grant is a sought after, and I'm saying a very well sought after, motivational speaker, mentor, published author, and she is also First Lady at Kingdom Builders Church. Dr. Grant has served nearly 15 years as a deputy probation officer. Look at this gorgeous woman. She's a deputy probation officer. She ain't playing. And has provided leadership coaching to religious and corporate leaders across the state for over 20 years. She is a loving wife to her husband who loves to travel and is intentional about empowering others to become great leaders. She's the founder, and she's received a lot of special awards and recognition, which we'll talk more about throughout today's broadcast. But welcome, my friend, Dr. Lawana S. Grant.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much for having me. Oh my goodness, I'm so honored to be on the Kim Jacobs Show.
I just needed your motivation alone to be on this show, and I knew it was going to be so much fun. So I don't want anybody to miss out on all of the information that you'll be sharing because there's so much to Dr. Lawana S. Grant, guys, that you'll be blown away to know everything that there is that she offers. One of the biggest things that you offer is leadership development. I said your website, but it's actually leadership development.
Yes.
I want people to understand, why is leadership so important to even have? Because we need to start with the basics.
Absolutely. First of all, I'm glad you said the website Leadership Develop Me, because that helps us to answer our question, right? Because that me in Leadership Develop Me is your mind and your execution. So when we talk about leadership development, our aim and our goal is to develop your mindset, because there are lots of people who want to lead, perhaps because they see, the glamour that comes with it and the stage and the platform, but your mind isn't right. And when your mind isn't right, you cannot effectively lead people, right? And so what our aim is to develop your mindset, so you really understand it's really not about you. It's about the people that you serve, right? Everything you do, all the decisions that you make, it's going to affect the people that's following you. So that's your mind. And then once your mind is right, then that is execution. And that simply speaks to strategy, because a lot of us, let me say, there are some of us who have great mindset, but you don't know what to do, right? You don't know how to get from A to B to C. And so then we give you strategy to get you there. And so with those two things, your mind and your execution, that brings about leadership development. And then you ask the question, Kim, why is that so important? Listen, oh my goodness. It's so important because we have people in leadership roles and they're not prepared because they don't understand what leadership is. Leadership is using your influence to impact change. That's it. Oh my goodness. And so that change can be good. That change can be bad. And all of us have been under bad leadership, unfortunately, whether it was your job, whether it was, an organization that you were in, whatever the case may be. But you have to decide how you're going to use your influence. And here is the thing. I ask people sometimes, Kim, are you a leader? And they're like, no. I'm not a leader.
You leading either positively or negatively. Regardless, you are having some level of influence and impact on somebody's life. So just make a choice, right?
Oh my goodness, you just said it. Everybody is a leader, but you have to decide how you're going to use your influence, okay? If you are a mother, you're a leader. Those children are watching you. If you're a wife, you're a leader. In every capacity of your life, you are a leader. And you said it, Kim, you have to decide how you're going to use your influence. Do you want the outcomes to be good, or do you want the outcomes to be bad? I don't know about you, but I am aiming that my outcomes are good, right?
Right. That's what I want. That's what I want. What about people that feel like they aren't leaders and they feel like, it's nice for people that are motivated like you, Dr. LaWanna S. Grant. You seem like you've been born with this leadership. And me, I'm like, I know I'm a leader, and I've been a leader for most of my life, my whole life. I just was a leader. But the thing is, what about people that really don't feel good about themselves and they don't see that potential in themselves? Can you help those people?
Absolutely. That deals with that mind. Here's the first thing that I would tell anybody that's feeling like that is not to compare yourself to somebody else that you see leading. Because when we start comparing ourselves, it gives us leeway or a platform to discredit ourselves. Right. Because you say, oh, I don't talk like this person, or, oh, I don't present like this person. Mm-hmm. And guess what? The reality is we don't need you to lead like that person, because that person is rocking their leadership on every level. We need you to be the leader that you have been called to. So that's number one. Do not compare yourself. Do not. Oh my goodness. Hear me, y'all. Do not compare yourself to anybody else that is leading. What you want to do is assess the circles that you are in, the environment that you are in, and how can you impact change in your circle. And once you say, you know what? I can do this. You know what I tell him? I tell leaders all the time, you need a positive affirmation every single day. I woke up today and said mine, because there are some days you wake up, you don't feel like leading. Kim, do you feel like leading every day?
No, my back is really bad, and I do not feel like leading all the time at all. But I said, no matter what, I know that it's helping somebody. So get yourself together and make it happen, Kim.
Yeah, that's it right there. That was an affirmation right there, right? So you got to have that positive affirmation. When you wake up, you must say, you know what? Today's going to be a great day. I'm going to say something that's going to impact somebody's life. I'm going to do something that's going to create change in my environment. All right. So,
Right.
so if you're feeling like that, don't compare yourself. And then make sure that you have affirmations that speak to who you are, because you've been called to be a leader. Everybody's been called to be a leader.
Right. I love that you're saying, I'm typing a lot of what you're saying too, because I don't want the audience not to be able to later go back and see these points. And so you're inspiring people to know that no matter what the deal is, every person can get up and say something positive to themselves in the mirror. And they can jumpstart their day just by saying something positive to yourself. If no one else supports you, if no one else pats you on the back or celebrates you, celebrate yourself, encourage yourself, right? Well, I'll pat you on your back, so don't worry. And that's the beautiful thing about sisterhood and friends and women celebrating other women. I am so, and men should celebrate men too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not some, person that's not celebrating men, but I am excited to be able to celebrate and lift up another sister. And when I say sister, I'm saying from all walks of life, from all nationalities. I love celebrating sisters and women because I think it's important to do that. Do you want to speak to that a little bit of how important that is?
Oh my goodness, Kim. Anybody that's not celebrating somebody else, I promise you, you cannot be in my inner circle, because just what you said, I love to celebrate people. I have a friend in Los Angeles. She often jokes and she says, Luana, you'll find something good about somebody to say. You'll find something good to say about somebody, even if everything was wrong. And that's just how I feel like we should be. I mean, you may have, you didn't do so good in that moment, but you know what I'm going to say?
Right.
Your earrings are really, really cute. I love your earrings. I'm going to find something positive to say to celebrate you and to uplift you in that moment. And so celebration is so key, Kim. Let me tell you why. Because people are looking at you, people are looking at me right now, but they have no idea of the backdrop to the story. They don't know what you have been through or what you are going through in order to present the gift that God has given you. And so when I see you operating in ministry, or I see you operating in corporate, or I see you operating on television, whatever you're doing, I don't have anything negative to say. So what, you didn't do it the same way that I would have done it. I wasn't there. You did it how you were supposed to do it. And so I have nothing but an applaud and a celebration, because I don't know what you've been through backstage before you got on the stage. So I believe in celebration. Please don't come around me with any negative talk. Please don't do it.
I love it. And the thing too that I also love is that every person needs to know that they're an important part of this world. And like this is just my own personal belief that the entire world misses out if someone does not use the gifts and the talents that they were equipped with, but they just sat on them for whatever the reason. And I have a problem with people just saying, okay, well, this is what God gave me, but I'm just gonna let it sit here and lie dormant in my system. Why would you do that?
Yeah. And no matter how many gifts we have, it could be 1, it could be 5, it could be 10. If you would use the gifts that God gave you, it will catapult you to the next level. Yeah. I always tell my team, I said, listen, we have to master the level that we are on right now.
That's
when
right.
you master the level that you are on, using that one gift that you just want to tuck away, use that one gift, master that one gift. And while you're mastering it, he's preparing you for something greater. So don't sit on that gift, ignite that thing, let it go. It's fire. Oh my goodness. It's fire waiting to happen.
So when did you determine that in your own spirit? Because you've been in the whole deputy, all kinds of criminal background, you name it, theological background. You've done so many different things. How did you determine that you were a true leader, and when did you figure that out? Was it at an early age, older? Tell us about that.
So I'm getting ready to let out a secret. I really didn't accept being like a leader, probably until in my 30s. I know I look 30 still right now. Oh, praise Jesus. But anyway,
you look good. I promise to God, you do look good in your 30s. Are you not?
But seriously,
you're older than in your 30s. Seriously, let's take a moment. You're older than in your 30s.
I'm not telling my age.
I already know your real age. Okay, but the point is, you still look like you in your 30s. So yeah,
I'm in my 40s. Let's just say that I'm in my 40s. If you go back in my social media, you could probably figure it out. But I am in my 40s, and I'm coming up on a birthday. All right, so I thank God for life. Let me just say that. But I will say that when I look back over my life, I was leading, like you said, even as a young girl. I mean, I was the captain of our cheerleading squad. I didn't know it. I had our team praying on the sideline before the game started. I didn't know what I was doing, Kim. You know, when I got to college, I was grateful to find a wonderful church there. I went to school, Grambling State University. Shout out to all of the Tigers down there in Louisiana. And my church at the time, they weren't doing praise dancing, and I came from California. We were doing praise dancing, so I introduced praise dancing, right? So I didn't know that I was using my influence for change. And I say that I really didn't know that I was a leader until my 30s, because the fruit of my labor started to harvest. It started to come up. So young people who were in my youth ministry, they start coming back as an adult to say, this is how you impacted my life. And that's what leadership is, right? It's using our influence for positive outcomes. So I was leading, but I really wasn't like, oh my gosh, like, God, this is what you really want me to do, until like my early 30s, mid 30s. And then I got really, really focused and serious about this thing.
Woo. I'm so glad, because I saw, since I came to your wedding in California. Yes, I was like, I love this lady. Let's talk about that for a moment, because you married. Okay, y'all let you tell your own story about how you and your Boaz connected.
Oh, absolutely. He's probably watching right now, or he'll watch the replay. So let me tell my version of the story.
You got the mic right now.
My version is he stalked me for 2 years.
Okay, I'm going to type that, because I know you're going to want that on it. Dr. Daryl.
He stalked me. So no, seriously, my husband told me that he watched me for 2 years. And he watched me at the national meetings for the Church of God in Christ, where I still serve. I have served a long time. I love my church. And he would watch me serve in the youth department. And so he started, asking around about me, and he knew about me before he actually approached me. So fast forward 2 years, I'm teaching a class at the National Leadership Conference in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. And he walked in the class. But Kim, the class was for youth leaders. And I said to myself, why is he in this class?
You have your youth department, but you sure don't need to be in the class right this second.
Right, you're a pastor. And so, I got nervous, because then I'm saying to myself, oh my goodness, but he's fine, so he can stay in here. But anyway, so he literally, I think it was 3 presenters. And he walked out when I got done presenting. And so then later that day, he told me, I really enjoyed your presentation. Okay, so that was in January. Fast forward, we kind of had soft communication from January until July. Right. And then it was the AIM conference in Tampa, Florida, 2009. I had to preach at youth church again, the young people. And lo and behold, who walks in? This fine, light-skinned, yellow man, Daryl Grant, at a youth service. Oh my goodness. Okay. So he walks in, and I'm sitting on the platform I'm already nervous, because I got to preach in front of all these people, right? And he walks in, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's here. And literally after that service, when I preached again, he told me, I really enjoyed your ministry. And we have talked like every day since then. So except for a little breakup, let's just go and be honest. We had breakup. It wasn't nothing bad, but we were distant. We were dating from a distance. That can be a little rough, right? So we dated for 4 years. In that 4 years, it was a 1 year breakup. But when we got back together, we already knew. I mean, both of us were miserable that whole year, trying to make like we didn't need each other. But anyway, and so God granted us to get back together. And I'm so happy he did. I love my husband with all my heart. He's the best thing that has happened to me outside of Jesus. And so on June 14th, 2013, Daryl and I got married on a Friday night at 5 o'clock. Friday night, 5 o'clock, that was his idea.
But we were there and we enjoyed ourselves so much. It was the best wedding ever. It was beautiful. And I've been to celebrity weddings. My friend Pat Smith, and when she got married, and I'm telling you, your wedding was just as fabulous as celebrity type of wedding. So thank you for having us. Okay, let's take a moment to just go to some of the audience comments, because there are a lot of audience comments. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, Cassandra said, hello, Dr. Grant.
Hi, Cassandra.
Yes, I'm glad to see this comment. Cassandra said, I'm here for you. She's talking to me right now because I need you. And this whole self-quarantine thing, everybody, I know that every show you've heard me talk about Cassandra Davis. This is Cassandra Davis that I'm talking about. She's the operations manager with Kim Jacobs and the Kim Jacobs Show and the Balance Doctor, all of that. I need Cassandra somewhere. I'm over here typing and trying to do a one-man show studio, but her and her husband are still supporting me from afar over at their home. They're doing my flyers and making sure the graphics are right. So I love you and Elder Selwyn, Cassandra. Let's see. You have a little feedback. Try turning your volume down. I'm glad you said that. Thanks, see, Cassandra helping me from. Yes, tell me if this is better, Cassandra. All right. Move the fan. Oh, somebody. You know what? And it is a fan. That's so funny. Only Darius would find that out.
Darius, you can hear the wind.
He said, move the fan. You can hear the wind.
It's so funny.
Okay, y'all, tell me, is that better? Because I turned the fan, but y'all don't understand menopause, so y'all can say whatever you want to say, but I need that fan. But I'm very coachable, so the fan has been turned. I've cut the volume down. Let's see some other comments on here. Pastor Braxton Bowser says, "Mighty women of God."
Hey, Pastor Bowser just released his new book. Give him a shout out on this live. Oh my goodness. So talk about leadership development. We publish books and we're honored to have just published his book. So y'all go ahead on or order his book. It is an awesome devotion, food for your soul.
Say the name of the book.
Now, see, Braxton Bowser, type the name of your book. I got so many books that we're able to.
Oh, yeah, you have so many books yourself that you've authored. Yeah, okay. Pastor Bowser, I actually saw your website and I saw First Lady Beverly Powell celebrating you on as well, but I didn't see the name of the book either. So let me know what the name of the book is so that I can type it in and I'll make sure that we notify people of that. Better yet, we can have you on the show and you can talk about your own book. How about that? So that's even better. All right, let's see any more comments that's coming in. Okay, people said Tammy Brooks said, yes, it's better. Tammy Brooks is on here and giving you some kudos. Oh, hey, Toya Bailey said, love you both, strong, beautiful, powerful women of God. And okay, playwright Vicki Lionel Evans is also chiming in and she said, yes, things are better and glad to be on. Judy Blair said, you have got you some long distance support there. Oh, thank you so much, Judy. Soul Care. Soul Care is the name of Pastor Braxton Bowser's book.
Yeah, I was trying to go to my email. I got you, Pastor Bowser. So it's called Soul Care, 30 Days to Developing a Healthier Soul. There you go. Wow. Your book publisher did not fail you on this shout out. Okay, it's called Soul Care, 30 Days to Developing a Healthier Soul. He has some awesome people that have written some endorsements. Bishop Brandon Porter, our Bishop Stenneth Powell. The forward is by Bishop Matthew Brown. It's a good book, y'all. Y'all get it. Have him on your show, Kim. Let him talk about his own book. It's good.
The screen. And let's see. So, okay, everybody's been, he said, laugh out loud. I love y'all. We love you too. And we're going to have you on the show. All right. So what are some tips that you can share with people about how to be an effective leader, Dr. Grant?
Yeah, how to be an effective leader. Let me address that from the angle of how to be a leader in a crisis. Let me say that because
that's
I
what
really
we're
think
talking about. I done got all off topic, and way to kindly bring me back on the topic I asked you to come on for. I done talked about everything else but the topic, right? So definitely right now doing COVID-19 and it's a lot of time of transition for people. People are trying to figure out how to still be effective in their own domains, but they're struggling because it's like, okay, this is a major world crisis happening here. And then you have people that are effective leaders like Dr. Luana S. Grant, and she's coming on today. I'm doing a whole introduction like I never started the show before. She's coming on today to talk to us about how to lead in times of crisis. So that's what we're going to be talking about for a few minutes now.
Yeah, so let me say this, that the test and the strength of your leadership, it really is defined in a crisis, right? Yeah. And so I think when we talk about crisis, we really have to understand that all a crisis is it's a series of events that is going to define our trend, our behaviors in the future. Look at any crisis that we've ever gone through. Let's just take September 11th for an example, right? That was a major crisis. I think all of us probably can remember where you were when all of that was happening there. And what did it do? It turned how we fly. We can no longer go to the gates and wait for our loved ones, right? It just changed. It changed some behaviors and some practices, right?
Right.
That's the surface. But I understand that a crisis, that's what it is. And so sometimes as leaders, we can panic when things are out of order. But as leaders, count to 10. I always say, use my 10-second rule, count to 10, all right? And realize that this crisis point, that this crisis is simply a turning point, okay? It is turning you to something different, even though it doesn't feel good, all right? It's turning you to new practices. It's turning you to new behavior, all right? So now, when you have that mindset, and feel free to chime in, Kim, anytime, because I could just talk, honey, about this leadership stuff, okay?
Oh, yeah, and I can tell you can talk about leadership because that's your gifting and your passion. But I'm also, let me see here. I'm just going to, I agree that leadership is so many different facets to it. And you're a leader. I know we're going to talk about other points, but you're a leader not only in the secular world, but you're also a leader in the church world. And I know some of the people that you work with. Describe, like one of the ladies I know that you're very passionate about, that you work with. Talk about her, Evangelist Rogers. You talk about her sometime.
Oh, you would say that. I absolutely love Evangelist Joyce Rogers. Hey, she'll probably watch this replay, but nevertheless, when you want me to talk about what from the angle of supporting her, because when I think about Joyce Rogers, here's what I want people to know is that there is a gift to be a number two. Oh my goodness. And you have to know how to be a number two person. Let me qualify what I'm saying, Kim. When you are a number two person, that means that you can be a strong leader. You can have some amazing ideas. You can even have some awesome strategies. But when your sole purpose is there to undergird your leader, you do nothing to outshine that person. You do nothing to overtalk that person, but everything that you do is there to be their Aaron and their earth. Since you told the folks I'm a leadership, a leader in the church as well. And so let me say this, that you should be the one to hold that person's arms up. Oh my goodness. Okay. And so I strongly believe that I have a gift of being a number two leader. Does that take anything away from me? Absolutely not. But what a lot of people don't know about me is that I don't like to be in the main seat. Oh my goodness.
Well, guess what? We're going to also just hear some feedback from somebody else that's on here today.
Shut the back door.
Wait, we can't hear you. Evangelist Rogers.
Can we hear her?
No.
You can't hear her, Kim?
You can hear her?
I can't hear her. Oh my goodness.
Let me tell her.
Let's see. Turn your phone, Joyce. Turn it the other way. Yep, keep going one more time. The other way. One more time. Yes. There we go. Now we can see you.
We can see you, but we can't hear you.
So unplug your earphones and let's see
your earphones out.
Oh, this is such an awesome surprise.
We'll get on in a second. Wait a minute, let me just take her off for a second. Okay, wait a minute. I want to make sure that she gets a chance to give you some feedback because she was so excited about joining in. I'm going to make sure we can hear her and then bring her back on. But as we bring her back on, I'll make sure that we can hear her first. And let's go on to one of your other points that you were making about.
I don't even know if I can talk about any points. What in the world? Oh my goodness.
I was trying my best to surprise her.
Love her.
I want to look it down, but okay. Let me make sure I tell everybody else that's going to be on the show. I'm not doing any more surprises, no time, because I can't. Yeah.
I hope we can get her back on.
Oh, we are definitely going to get her back on. Wait a minute.
All right. So while you get her back on, I will give my first point. Is that all right, Kim?
Yes, please.
All right. So as leaders, as we lead in crisis, we have to, number one, create a safe place, guys. Create a safe place. All right. So what do you mean by that? That means that you have to create a space that's non-judgmental, where people can come and say how they feel. They can agree or they can disagree with what's happening or a vision or plan that you have put forth, right, in a respectful way. Right. But you just want to create a safe place. All right. So even in this pandemic,
let me ask you, when you say safe space, because not everyone understands what safe space is because we're leaders, so we understand that. But then a lot of my audience members too that are watching, some of them are from all walks of life, and they're looking for mentors, and they're trying to figure out what does the safe space even look like. I don't know how to even create it for anybody else, let alone create it for myself.
Yep, absolutely. Creating a safe place is, number one, calling a meeting, whether that's virtually, whether that's in person, whatever that is. You call a meeting and you have the individuals that should be in this meeting there, okay? Mm-hmm. And in that meeting, you want to simply state the crisis that you're in, the problem that you're having. Don't tiptoe around it, okay? Let's just say, hey, let's just say, for example, we're in a financial bind, okay? Just tell the people the problem. Hey, COVID-19 has shut us down. We don't know how to connect with our congregation. State the problem, all right? And so once you state the problem with those individuals, that safe place, you want to say to your group, how does this make you all feel? Mm-hmm. And regardless of what they say, my mother used to call it the poker face. Put on your poker face. Just smile. Okay. That means I'm not judging you. Whatever you say, I'm just going to take it. Okay. Now I may break down in the car and cry, and my feelings may get hurt in the car. Okay. But while we're in that moment, right, I'm not going to make facial expressions. Facial expressions are big, y'all. Watch yourself as a leader. When somebody is talking, you're like, right? All those facial expressions, it's like, okay, is she really listening to me? Or, so make sure that you really listen with an intent ear and keep facial expressions that says, you know what? I'm hearing what you're saying, and I appreciate you in this moment, and I'm not judging you for what you're saying. So yes, that's what I mean by create a safe place. All right.
That's real good. Let me try and let's see if we can bring your special surprise back in again here. Let's see here. Can we hear you?
I can see her very good now.
We can see you, but can we hear you?
Tell her take her earbuds out.
Take your headphones out. Take your earphones out. Unplug your earphones. And she's so willing to do this. You don't understand. She is the most leader ever.
I love her.
I don't know. I can't hear her. Oh, it's driving me batty.
Let's see. What happens if she takes
Huh?
Oh, there she goes. She took out her earpieces, and Joyce, take it out of the phone. Let's see. We're going to get her on this live,
We're
y'all.
gonna get her on this. We're not even gonna end the show until we hear this voice. Look,
Right.
we're in like we got on a Lifetime movie like this.
There we go. Y'all give Joyce a lot of hearts. Oh my goodness! If y'all watching, go ahead and give Joyce
love for a humble
lot
leader,
of hearts,
doing everything she can to show her love to LaWanna Grant. while she's checking into getting that worked out, let me go to some more audience comments. Oh, somebody said we can't hear, but we will wait, because you better believe wait is well worth the wait.
She is
That's a nice surprise. You are on a roll with these surprises, lady. Oh yeah, I'm trying so hard, Deacon Darius. This is a great show, Cassandra. Thank you. It's not the same without you. We wouldn't have even had this technical difficulty if we had you on board. I'm gonna move her for 1 second so that we're not showing her getting. Okay. Let's see. Being number 2 gives you the opportunity to learn, to be a sponge, and to cheer them on. Then you have create a safe space. She's just typing. Toya Bailey is typing exactly what you said already. And people are saying yes to everything that you're sharing and clapping. So what's another point from your perspective on being a true leader?
Yeah, absolutely. So once you have everybody in that room, you've created a safe place, right? You want to reassure your circle that you either empathize or you sympathize with them, right? Mm-hmm. So empathy, of course, it speaks to sharing in the same feelings as the folks that you're talking to. So I know for me, let's just be honest, when COVID hit, I was a little scared. I was like, whoa, what's going on? Right? So when our group said, you know what, Pastor First Lady, we are scared to come to church. We are fearful to come to church. And yes, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Absolutely. But before you get to that power, love, and sound mind, you have to overcome that fear. Okay.
That's right.
And so let's, when they told us that, we were like, we understand. We absolutely understand. We empathize with you, right? So we share in that feeling. So leading in a crisis, you want to share in the feeling, whatever that crisis is. For me, Kim, I'm still growing and developing when we have to minister or assist families who have lost loved ones who are in the hospital. I'm so not good at that, y'all. I'm so not good because I'm crying with them. I'm supposed to be there to console them. I'm crying and I'm like,
I do the same thing. So then I don't know about if you definitely can't get your development from me in that regard, because I'm like, I can't. I mean, I'm praying for you and I love you, but the fact is, this is painful. This is hurt. This hurts. And if it's hurting you, it's hurting me. And I'm the person that's one of your leaders. So your pain is my pain.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. And we lost a dear sister here at our church. Her name was Veronica Patterson. So shout out to her memory. But I cried the whole time as we were driving to her home to visit with her husband. And I told my husband, I said, I can't go in there crying. And he told me one thing that was so key, and I want to share with you all. He said, if you feel like crying, cry. He said, people need to know that their leader empathizes and are connected with them. So I stopped trying to be strong in that moment.
Right.
And when I got in there, if I felt like crying too, I just cried.
That's right.
So, just make sure that you empathize, genuinely empathize. And if you cannot feel the same emotion, sympathize with them. Okay. A great way to say that is to just say, I understand how this could make you feel. I understand. Oh, that's so sweet. We miss you, Veronica. Kingdom Builders, if y'all watching, y'all heart it out. We loved Veronica. She was a jewel. Oh my goodness. And we miss her.
I felt the love through Facebook and the posts that you were putting, and the love that the church rallied around and just supported her family. And it was beautiful. I felt like I was a part of your church right in that moment.
Okay, Kim, you're not going to make me cry on this interview. Okay. But the point there, you all, is just to reassure your circle that you're human and that you are connected to how they are feeling. Okay. Whatever that feeling is. All right. Okay. All right. Keep going. Or do we have Joyce yet?
We got her again. Let's see.
Okay.
Evangelist.
Tell Joyce I'm going to call her on this telephone in a minute.
So we're going to put you on speakerphone. We're getting you on here now.
Right.
so sincere. You know
He's
what
gonna
we're
get
talking
this.
about? Even, you know what, guys, and I know that I'm letting you see her right now, even though you can't hear her, but exactly what Dr. LaWanna Grant is talking about is exactly what Evangelist Joyce Rogers is doing right now. The sincerity that's coming through her leadership. You guys, you have to look her up and just learn about Evangelist Joyce Rogers. She is one of the top officials within the Church of God in Christ International. And this woman of God is going to great extremes to make sure that she shows up for Dr. LaWanna Grant. This is like a true example of someone that does not have to be humble in any way, shape, or form. She could be like, oh, bump this mess. I can't figure this out, and I'm not going to keep trying, and so be it. But here she is. Oh my God, that right there make me cry. And that right there, people would say, Kim, you should not have her on there right now, knowing that we can't hear her. But this is a testimony that a person at her caliber would come on to this show regardless, and seeing the efforts that she's making, and whether we can hear her or not, her heart is in the right place.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And if I know Sister Rogers, she's not gonna let that defeat her. She's gonna get this.
Oh, we're gonna get it. She's taking her. She can hear us.
So another alternative, Kim, can she try logging in from her computer? Can she try logging in?
The link that I sent you, Dr. Rogers, I'm gonna remove.
Yeah, let's take
the link that I've sent you, Dr. Rogers, because she can see us, she can hear us, but we just can't hear her. Then definitely go to a different device and use that. And we can't wait, because that means, you know what, God got something mighty for you to share as a surprise to this woman of God. Okay, so avoid. Go ahead, talk about what's next.
Yeah, so the next step is avoid isolation. Okay, so when you're leading in a crisis, avoid isolation. Do not turn your telephone off. That's rude. All right. So what do you mean, LaWanna, when you say avoid isolation? Make sure that you have a systematic way for people to contact you, whether that is email, whether that's social media, whatever that is. Make sure that the people you are leading, they have a way to contact you. Now, when you're in a crisis, you know, your mind is focused on finding that problem. So the immediate contact may not be directly you, but just like you said, Kim, with Cassandra, and then it goes back to that number 2, right? So if you're a leader, you may have somebody right next to you, right underneath you, that if somebody needs to contact you, they know, oh, I need to call Cassandra to get in contact with Kim in this crisis, right? So if I can't get Kim on her cell phone, I know I could call Cassandra and get a message to Kim. So you want to avoid isolation. Don't disappear on the people. Don't do that. That's rude. Okay. Can you imagine like your child at home needing something from mom and dad is not there? That's the same panic that people in your organization feels when you know there's a problem. Everybody knows there's a problem, and you, dear leader, are nowhere to be found.
And you know, I'm glad you're saying that, because LaWanna, am I okay to call you LaWanna? You're my friend. Call you LaWanna. I know we're doing a formal thing, so you're Dr. LaWanna S. Grant, but also for me, you're LaWanna. And the thing is so I always keep my phone on, and there are times that I can't always answer the call, but I tell people I'm on a call, or I'll call you right back, or what. I try to be I always try to treat someone else the way that I would want to be treated in a situation. So that's very important to me as a leader, that if the congregation or the community, people that are with Gabe's Heart Foundation, they're just simply trying to figure out how do they get a donation or whatever the case may be, just taking a moment to respond back to them, even if I don't have what they need. Yeah. There are times that I've been requested things and I just don't, I'm like, I can't, I'm not even the person to do that, but I still say I'm not the person to do that, but I can connect you with someone that can.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
I love these tips that you're sharing. I love them.
Oh, amen.
Okay, let's see. We're gonna try and okay, we're gonna get this, guys. Y'all are enjoying the show, I hope, but we're gonna get this going. Let's see here. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh! Y'all give Grace some hearts. Y'all give my mentor some hearts. I need to see some hearts.
Turn the camera more towards your shoulder. Turn it towards your left shoulder. Yes. More. Turn it to the left.
So you gonna see my dirty kitchen?
That's perfect right there. You're so fun. I cannot believe you are so humble and wonderful. I love you.
I'm trying to avoid the tears. First of all, I'm honored, and I hear an echo of me now on the device that would not work. But I am so honored, Sister Kim. First of all, let me congratulate you, another phenomenal woman that walks in kingdom authority and knows how to tap into the unknown and bring people inside your sphere to educate and to equip them. So hats off to you, my sister. We celebrate you. And listen, Dr. LaWanna Grant, let me get it together. One of the most phenomenal women that I have ever met. I was listening to Dr. Grant, and she mentioned the second chair. The second chair. That is the epitome of a servant leader. And it is so important that the first chair leader has a second chair leader that is secure within her own rights, that is innovative and creative, and becomes the wind beneath the leader's wings. Dr. LaWanna Grant is a motivator. And listen, had I been with Dr. Grant when I was trying to get on this call, I would already be on there. That's how she works.
I know.
She makes sure that the people that are assigned to her, and now God has opened her sphere. There are a plethora of people whose lives will be changed, will never be the same, because they met the drum major. Right. Dr. Grant is a drum major. She leads out front, but she's also cognizant of the people that are coming behind her. Dr. Grant, I tell you, I've watched her take people out of obscurity and put them in prominency and never missed a beat. You can only do that when you are secure with your own self, when you have gone through trial and error, because success consists of both trial and errors, accomplishments and failures. All of those things mixed together to propel you to the place that you are called to be. I cannot think of a greater leader than Dr. Grant. And I want to say this, during this turbulent time of uncertainty, God has put in the earth voices for the COVID-19 virus that is, in causing people to feel whatever they feel. There are many voices that are out in the earth that are considered voices of calmness, voices of assurance, voices of peace. Dr. LaWanna Grant is one of those voices that has been called into the earth, not just into our favorite place, which is our Christian home, our Christian culture, but she's been sent into the marketplace. I mean, from the north, the south, the east, and the west. The voice of Dr. LaWanna Grant, and the person. I mean, she's a good person. She's authentic. She's real. She is kind. She is smart, and she is important. But her just the epitome of what a woman of God. I feel my tears falling. Wait a minute.
Oh God.
Just the epitome of what a woman of God should be. So thank you, Sister Kim, for this time to talk about one of the most highly revered friend, leader. She is my mentor. I call her, and when you call her, you can't call her without a notepad, because once you get off the phone, your notes are just all over the place. I love you, Dr. Grant. There's so much more. I mean, not the sky, but shoot for the stars. So if you do fall, you fall on the moon, and you're still up high. I love you, my sis.
I love
Thank
you,
you,
Joyce.
Kim.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, one day will you come on the show and just at least let people see your whole face and get to hear your real story too?
Oh my goodness.
Well, I would love to come, and just remember when I do come and you hear my story, between each line of what the writer say, pain and glory, Dr. LaWanna Grant name would be included in my story.
Wow. I love you. Oh my
I love
goodness.
you guys.
I need all I have is this tissue and I need a towel. I need a towel.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I want to give you a chance, LaWanna, to say anything.
I'm really at a loss for words. I can't believe, Kim, you got this live. Oh my goodness.
I know with tears everywhere.
Woo, sweating and tears. I love Sister Evangelist Supervisor Joyce Rogers. And I always admired her from afar when I was a little girl. And like in my early 20s, and I say this story publicly, that I saw her preaching at my church. And I was like, because women, we couldn't preach back then, you couldn't preach, so anyway,
Right.
but she was like preaching, and I mean, souls were just being blessed and people were just being saved and miracles. And I sat there and I said, who is this lady? Because I had never seen it on that order before. And I admired her from afar. And only God knew that I would be blessed with the opportunity to serve first with her and then for her. And I say with her because my leader appointed me as the jurisdictional chair lady. And with the chair lady job for the youth department, Evangelist Rogers was appointed as the national chair lady. Okay. And so by default, I would respond to the things that she was putting out. She didn't know me, but I was like, oh, I got to do what the chair lady is saying, right? And so I was serving with her, and then God would have it that she asked me to be one of her assistants for the International Youth Department. And here's my point in all of this, is that I went from admiring her from afar to working with her up close. And I say this all the time, she's never disappointed me. There are some people that you can admire from a distance, and then when you start working with them, you realize that they're mean, they're nasty, they don't have the people at heart. It's all about the money. It's all about them. It has never, ever been like that with her. I don't know where she went, but I hope she can still hear me.
Yeah, I can see her background, so I know she doesn't want all of that stuff happening at
okay. It has never, ever been like that with Joyce L. Rogers. And I will say this, not only in our church environment, right? Not only in our church environment, Church of God in Christ, which I'm a proud member of, okay? But I've been with her in other arenas and other denominations. I will never forget when she went to preach for Bishop T.D. Jakes' Megafest. That's a huge platform. And some people, they act brand new when they get different platforms. But she didn't act brand new. Oh my goodness. And you probably wouldn't know it unless I'm telling you right now, but like I was right there with her. And I say that to say it's because that moment wasn't about me. That moment really was about covering her and making sure she was okay. And so I'm really lost for words right now. I love her to infinity. Anything she asked me to do. I know we don't serve together in certain capacities anymore, but thankfully our sisterhood and our bond, it hasn't been broken. And anything that I can do within my power and the strength that the Lord gives me, anything that I can do for Joyce L. Rogers is done before she gets it out of her mouth. And I'm going to stop talking, Kim, because you're making me cry.
Girl, this right here, I don't even, some things that happen on the Kim Jacobs show, I can't even predict, but this is way more than what I could have ever envisioned. And even in the technical difficulties. Okay, she says she can hear everything that you said. And I'm not pulling her back on the screen. She said she has a prayer conference call, but she said, I've heard every single word that Lawana said, and for me to let you guys know that. And she is so honored to honor you today. And
Wow.
I'm going to, let me let her know that's why I'm looking down, Dr. Grant, here. I'm going to disconnect you because I don't want her to disconnect you. Awesome. This was just awesome. I really hope that you were surprised. And I'm going to. I hope that was a pleasant surprise.
Oh, Kim, you're amazing. Oh my goodness. That was such a pleasant surprise. Oh my goodness.
So glad. Okay, so you know what? I know we were talking about if you want to learn more about Dr. Lawana S. Grant, let me go ahead and make sure you have a way to be able to, let me share her website with you, and you can be able to, let me see here. I'm going to share her website with you right now, and tell me can you see it on your screen, Dr. Grant? Because I can. You can?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. So okay. So this is her website is leadershipdevelopme.com. And one of her favorite quotes is, leaders who are informed are empowered to perform. And say something about that quote, why you love that so much.
Absolutely. Because when we have information, we're better at implementation. And some of us have poor implementation because we haven't taken the time to get the information that we need. And so it goes back to that my primary purpose is to make sure that leaders have information that they can implement for great performance.
Outstanding. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the services that's offered, tell them about different services that you offer, and they can learn all about this on leadershipdevelopme.com under the services tab. But talk a little bit about each of the services briefly as we prepare to close today's episode.
Absolutely. Kim, you're good. You got all the stuff on the screen. So individual coaching, I only take 5 clients at a time because I'm serious about working one-on-one with that individual to get them to where they need to be. And that could be your leadership, your business, whatever it is. You set the goals and I set the strategy and we work together, and that's one-on-one. Group coaching is done in different forms. Of course, workshops. And then sometimes groups come to me and say, okay, we just need some training on team building, and I will work directly with that particular group. But if you see there on the website, there's a tab where you can click leadership development workshops and seminars. It's all kind of seminars that we offer to you, leadership retreats, etc. Online and on-site training. I've been doing a lot of this online training. I was doing this before COVID hit. So I just praise God we were already in position, right? So online training, we have a class coming up Saturday, Create Your Flyers. And we're just showing showing leaders how to present themselves in a great way on social media, etc. Public speaking classes. We have a class for female leaders in ministry that's getting ready to launch in June. So we always offer online training. You don't have to go anywhere, or on site. You bring us to you. And the very last one is the book publication arm of it. And that was the last leg, our arm rather, added to our business when people start asking me, how did I publish all these books? And I was doing it myself. So now we have a team who does that. And so the biggest piece of that is that we actually serve as the author's coach, because anybody can publish their book these days. You can go online and figure that out. The biggest piece the problem that people have is formulating their thoughts and making sure that the content flows before you package it together. And so that's what I help you with. And then my team handles the rest. And we already stated earlier, one of our authors was online. So I'm blessed that we have dozens of authors now. So I'm really blessed and honored to work with leaders.
Well, I am loving this, and I definitely don't want to get off without giving a few more shout outs. You have Justine Hilliard, and she says, amen. Tammy Brooks is showing heart and loves. Lady Tanya Anderson is on, just giving kisses and love. Lady Patricia Pickett is on. She said, Dr. Grant has not been that way with me, but she pushes me in ministry. I love her.
I love her. She's one of our authors. Y'all get her book too. Yes.
And she has a great book as well. Courtney Jacobs, fantastic show. Super Lady Kim from Lady Anderson, who also has a book, The 21-Day Prayer Challenge. Braxton Bowser says she's an amazing book coach because she helped him get his book going. Lady Kim, you are gifted in sharing love and bringing people together. Thank you for sharing Dr. Grant and Dr. Rogers with us. Oh, it's my honor. And thank you for being such an important part of everything I do, Cassandra. Okay. Oh, Toya said, y'all making me cry. Y'all trying to make me cry. Okay. So lots of, okay. Also, Mother Julia Harper is on, and she is our church mother at Quest Church, and Mother Adele McLean. She watches every day. My mom watches, Ella Spradley. Lots of, Lady Linda Allen is on. She's going to be my guest next Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
With cake, coffee, and conversation. Okay, so all kinds of people on. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody because it's so many people that are watching and they're saying this is a great show. Shout out to Pastor Daryl Grant and sharing his lovely wife with us today. And so I'm really glad. Okay, anything else that's like a take one? I know that we didn't even get through this. We didn't get through everything that we were going to get to, but we got through what people needed to hear.
Yep.
And
but I will in 20 seconds give people those 3 points and you can go explore them. So number one,
we go back and get those right now.
Okay, so number one was create a safe place. Number two was reassure your circle that you empathize or sympathize with them. Number three was avoid isolation. Here are those last three nuggets really quick. Provide supportive updates, okay? Supportive updates to your team. Number five is identify emerging gifts in a crisis. People will rise to the top and you will see gifts that you never saw before.
Okay, and stop there for a second because I don't want to go too, even though I just have a time frame within the show, but I want to respect and share what you're sharing because this is some good stuff, which is identify emerging gifts. There are gifts that people have that are hidden talents that they're not using. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. When there is a crisis, people will rise to the top that really were laying dormant and you didn't know they had that gift, or it will challenge them to do something they've never done before. And remember, a crisis is a turning point. And so we call that emergent leadership. And so when something emerges to the top, don't ignore it. Use that because it's going to help you in the days to come, even after the crisis. So identify the emerging gifts.
You'll actually see some new leaders that you never even knew they even exuded those particular skills. Now in this time of crisis, they came to the top and it's like, girl, that's your new gift. When we get back in that church building, this is exactly what you're going to be doing.
That's it right there. And here's the last one to close out is that final nugget is stay committed to the process until the new normal is defined. And just in case you all didn't get it, if you watch the replay, those 6 steps, those 6 nuggets, it actually spells crises. Y'all know I love acronyms, right? So CRISIS, those 6 nuggets, you can just write the word down, crises, and go ahead, create a safe place. Reassure your circle. Avoid isolation.
Wait a minute. Go slower. Because I'm doing it with so. Oh my gosh, LaWanna, you are brilliant. I love you. Okay, so the words, all of the points that Dr. LaWanna Grant shared today, spell out the word crisis. So we're gonna go back and now write this down. Okay, go.
So, number 1, create a safe place. That's C. Number 2, that R, reassure your circle. All right. Reassure your circle. Number 3, it's an I, lowercase avoid, capital I, isolation. That's what that I is for. Okay. Avoid isolation. All right. That S is provide supportive updates to your team. Provide supportive updates to your team. How are we doing? What are you doing to push us forward? Okay. And the second I is identify emerging gifts. Identify emerging gifts. And the very last nugget on crisis is stay committed to the process until your new normal is defined. Do not quit, leader. Don't you quit, okay? But stay committed to the process. I love you, Kim. Thank you for having me on the Kim Jacobs Show.
I'm so happy that you were on today. And for everyone that would like to be a part of this, let me make sure I give you this information as well. God, I don't. Okay, make sure you subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. Make sure you take a moment, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, turn on your notifications every day. Well, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. I have a new guest that's coming on tomorrow. My guest is Alina Green, and she's going to be doing some fitness workout moves and going over some fitness tips with us. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. And I'm trying to think of one other thing I wanted to make sure I told you guys. Oh, every day from 12 to 12:30, our church is doing a prayer line, 978-990-5000. Access code is 322-083#. Now, no matter what church you go to, you're welcome to join in on the prayer. We don't encourage you to come to our church. If you go to Kingdom Builders Church, and you obviously go to Kingdom Builders Church with your pastor and your pastor's wife, but I'm sure everybody's okay with hearing the prayer for people that are experiencing crises during the COVID-19 and frontline workers, essential workers. People are in need of prayer right now. So feel free to participate and hear the prayer for that 30 minutes. And we're already into the prayer today. So Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:30. And to learn more about Dr. LaWanna Grant and her services, let me make sure I go and give you her website once again. I have all your points typed here, so I'm trying to, okay, here it is. It's Dr. LaWanna S. Grant, leadershipdevelopme.com. And I definitely don't want to get off without talking about your church. So say something about your church. That's important to me, that I don't, because when we had the technical difficulties, I just don't want to prevent you from saying something about Kingdom Builders. So say something about your church, please.
Absolutely. We are honored to serve my husband, Pastor Daryl L. Grant, Leroy Grant. That's that L. All right. Pastor Leroy Grant and myself, we are honored to pastor Kingdom Builders Church International Church of God in Christ right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, 3925 Beasley Lane, Charlotte, North Carolina. Connect with us on our website, www.kbcinc.org. Our mission here, we have a 4G experience. We
the website one more time.
KBCINC.org. KBCINC.org. And our mission here is we gather, we grow, we give, and we go. We gather for worship, we grow in the word, we give our tithe and our offering, and we go make disciples for the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, thank you, Kim, for allowing me to shout out my church. I love my church.
Girl, yes, Lord. I'm excited about your church. I'm excited about your pastor and everything that you guys do. And it's an excellent ministry for you to be a part of. That's KBCINC.org. Pastor Daryl Grant, he is an administrative assistant to our bishop, to Bishop Stenneth E. Powell, and Lady Powell is our jurisdictional leaders, and also I'm state supervisor of women, Mother Patricia Lofton, and assistant state supervisor of women, Mother Barbara Lockett. We have some great leaders within the Church of God in Christ, and every church is so many different churches that you can choose from. But I encourage you, if you have not experienced KBCINC.org, Kingdom Builders Church International, Church of God in Christ, make sure that you get a moment to experience these wonderful leaders, Pastor Daryl and Lady LaWanna Grant. And yeah, definitely, I'm like, what? We can talk about leadership all we want. They still got to know that you're a leader in ministry too, right?
Yes.
So I'm so honored. And thank you guys for being so patient with the whole technical difficulties, but it was well worth it, what was shared. And
thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Joyce. Love you.
Okay, let me make sure to give my last shout outs to my audience. Yes. Toya's like, well, we're going to advertise this. KBINC. Is it .com or .org?
.org.
Okay. And Darius,
There
he's
we
the
go.
one. They must be your two members right there. They like, oh, we don't put this right. It's kbcinc.org. And the only reason I say it is because people hear it on my podcast too. So not everyone's seeing the show.
Okay.
Gather, grow, give, and go.
Mm-hmm.
And your church member, Toya Bailey, says, we love you.
Love you
And
too.
you are thebomb.com.
Amen.
And then Pastor Hilliard said he's watching and so supportive as well. Oh my God, I'm so glad I went back to the comments.
Lady Pow!
Girl, do you know I'd have been so hurt if I had disconnected and didn't.
That's our first lady.
That is the first lady of the North Carolina.
She is the first lady.
I love Lady Power. This woman is a woman of epitome and grace and excellence.
Yes.
And sincerity and authenticity and compassion, everything.
Mm-hmm. Everything. She's a total package. She is one to watch and one to mirror. She is just phenomenal inside and out. She's beautiful.
Okay, and that's good, Dr. Grant. Well, she said that's good, Dr. Grant, about another thing. She's not saying that's good that we building her up like that. That was from a previous comment. Gotcha. Okay, and then they said, God bless the Grant family. Tarina says, this was an outstanding show. Lisa Graham Dixon said, awesome information. Love you. Lots of people. It's so many people. Go back if you would, Dr. Grant, and maybe just comment on some of the comments from my studio audience. Thank you all so much for being a part of the Kim Jacobs Show today and experiencing the exclusive surprise that happened for Dr. LaWanda Grant. Thank you, Dr. Grant, for joining me today and being my very special guest.
Thank you, Kim. I love you.
I love you. God bless you all. Have a great day. Tune in tomorrow at 11.